Hi, I'm Emily. Today I was wanting to talk about some book recommendations based on different TV shows and movies. So I really like the idea of finding recommendations through different TV shows and movies. I just find that you get a clear understanding of what a recommendation is like if you can understand it in a context of like one of your favorite movies or TV shows. And I feel like giving these recommendations is like a good idea, especially for people like new and they're looking for different things. It's like if you know that you like this, maybe try and explore and try out this one. So I want to try it out today. I'll start off with probably the easiest and the most recognizable. If you are a fan of the movie The Duff, I would 100% recommend checking out Better Than the Movies. Better Than the Movies follows Liz, who is just a hopeless romantic obsessed with rom-coms waiting for her happily ever after in her senior year. And her childhood crush Michael, who was always her one true love, has just moved back into town, and so she enlists her help of her arch nemesis slash neighbor, Wes Bennett, to try to get Michael's attention. And there's all of this drama. There's a whole makeover scene, and in the end, we have to find out, is Michael even her true love, or was it Wes all along? And it's really cool. Like, it has all of the same tropes and cliches, and it's just like a fun time, and I really would recommend. So my next recommendation is for Criminal Minds. If you really like the show Criminal Minds and all of the FBI drama and the profiling and the tension, and you want to try out a thriller but you're a little scared, I would 100% recommend The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I would 100% recommend The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's a YA thriller, so it's not as intimidating as some of the other ones. It's a great place to start, and it's so enticing. I went to read one book and I finished the whole series. It was so great, and it really drew you in. It had all of those same characteristics of Criminal Minds with the profiling and the FBI, and it was just had me on edge the whole time, if you know what I mean. So The Naturals follows 17-year-old Cassie, who's just been recruited to the FBI to join their new group of teenagers called The Naturals. It's a new group that's formed, and with everyone having their own different special abilities. So Cassie herself is an amazing profiler. She can read people and see all their different backgrounds and everything. There's somebody else who's really good with numbers. There's someone who can read emotions, and someone else who can lie. So she joins the group with all of these other talented teens who have their own abilities, and they work on different cold cases and stuff to try and hone their skills to go to the FBI when they're older. However, a local girl ends up going missing, and they end up somehow being drawn in because it's very similar to how Cassie's mum went missing, and there's a whole lot of tension and drama. There is also a side story of a love triangle, but I am a romance girly to my core, but I was I actually don't care, keep going with the story. I was so invested, it hooked me so much. I would 100% recommend. It's the same intrigue that Criminal Minds has, where there's all of these slight little things, and once it clicks into place, you go back through the whole book and you're was that there from the beginning? And there was twists and turns. And so The Naturals is the first in the series, and then each book has their own subplot, but then there's a running mystery throughout the whole series, and you just can't put them down. They are so amazing. I would 100% recommend. Another book that's very similar to The Naturals, and I would also recommend for Criminal Minds, would be None Shall Sleep, which is also another YA thriller about teenagers in the FBI doing profiling. None Shall Sleep follows Emma, a serial killer survivor, and Travis, who is an aspiring US Marshal, as they are recruited to the FBI in the 80s to help interview convicted juvenile murderers and assist with some cold cases. They both have very unique backgrounds and abilities to be able to profile and dissect information from people. However, the investigation ends up changing as they're called up to an active case when a serial killer starts targeting teens in the area. They end up then having to go and interview a renowned psychopath teenager Simon to try and get his help in understanding the thing, and then it ends up getting really fuzzy. Is he helping? Is he manipulating, kind of thing. Another really cool thing in None Shall Sleep was that we ended up getting some perspectives from the killer, like unknown to us, with how he interacted with it and what information he knew and how he was using that in his plans. So we found out information before Cassie and Travis did, and then that really like added to the tension, just like in Criminal Minds when we can see the perspective of the killer and then it flashes back to the bureau. And so that's another really fun fact about it. I'm not sure if it was in the Naturals or not. I think it was, but it was just really cool to get that insight, and it really like increased the tension just like it does, and I would 100% recommend. So yeah, the Naturals, the whole series I would recommend, and None Shall Sleep. I will quickly mention another one that's very similar to Criminal Minds as well as Dexter, if you've seen that one and you like that, would be the Mindfuck series. Absolutely great series. I was hooked. I read the whole thing. It was honestly had me on the edge of my seat. I could not stop. It was a page turner for sure. But definitely search up trigger warnings. It is a dark romance and it is quite graphic and there's a lot happening. So yeah, really look into it first. But it is like the perfect mix of Criminal Minds and Dexter. It follows Lara, who is a serial killer, and Logan, who is an FBI agent looking for her, and they accidentally fall in love. And then you go on the whole backstory of why Lara ends up killing people, and is it really bad, and Logan's, would recommend. My next recommendation would be for Divergent. If you like Divergent, maybe try Fourth Wing. So it's a little different. Divergent is like more of that dystopian kind of vibe, but Fourth Wing is just like a fantasy version almost. So both of them, if you like in Divergent, if you like all of the different factions and the different trainings and all that kind of thing, it's very similar to in Fourth Wing, where they do have the different classes. You can be like a writer or a scholar or different things, and it takes different training programs, and there's lots of like different found family with all the friends they make in between. Like it is different, but it's very similar vibe. So if you like Divergent and you want to try your hand in like a fantasy, I would definitely 100% recommend Fourth Wing. My next recommendation would be if you like the movie The Proposal and you want something with those same kind of arranged marriage, they hate each other, they end up falling for each other in the end, I would recommend Wool of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Wool of Winnipeg and Me follows Aiden, who is this big, doesn't talk to anyone, gruff NFL player, and his personal assistant, Vanessa, who he ends up asking to marry him in order to gain citizenship. And it goes on this big journey. She ends up quitting at one point. He brings her back, and it is, be warned, it is a slow burn. Mariana Zapata is known for slow burns. But it is so worth it. It had me kicking and screaming. It's one of my favorites. I feel like it's such a long book, but it just like flies past, and then all of a sudden, like, it's so good. I would 100% recommend. So those are all the recommendations I have for right now. Hope you gain something out of it. I'll definitely try and do another part if you want. If you have any other suggestions, please do let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya!